Michael Wray was the first to demonstrate his culinary talent and potential, winning the first season of Hell's Kitchen all the way back in 2005. His victory at the age of 27 marked a promising start to his career. However, what many fans may not know is that his triumph coincided with a personal battle against addiction. A few years prior to his appearance on the show, Michael had undergone back surgery. However, the metal rods implanted in his back snapped. This ordeal led to his dependence on painkillers. Despite being a functioning addict, he secured a spot on Gordon Ramsay's renowned reality cooking competition. There, he thrived under the spotlight, often taking the lead on the Hell's Kitchen team. Having triumphed over all the other contestants, Michael found himself against Ralph Pagano in the finals. Both chefs were tasked with crafting their unique menus and designs. In the finale, Michael made an ossobuco braised short rib. That was enough for him to walk through the final door and emerge as the champion of the first ever Hell's Kitchen USA. As the winner of the first season, he expected a prize of $250,000 to launch his own restaurant. However, Ramsay said, "I realized an individual of Michael's talents. I didn't want him to get away." To his surprise, Ramsay presented him with an alternative offer, a job working at his London restaurant.
Work alongside me to become a top world-class chef. Michael, what do you say?
What would Michael say? In a somewhat awkward pause, the cameras zoom in on Michael's face as he decides whether to take Chef Ramsay's offer or not. In the moment, he agrees and the crowd goes wild with applause. Interestingly, Michael had already lived and worked in the UK for 2 years in the late 1990s prior to his appearance on Hell's Kitchen. He even applied for positions at Chef Ramsay's London restaurants, but he had always been turned down, even when he offered to work for free. Although he initially accepted Chef Ramsay's offer, Michael ultimately had a change of heart and decided not to go to London to work at the restaurant. His decision was driven by his fear of not having access to the substances to which he was addicted. In an interview years later, he would say of that decision, "It was the hardest decision I've ever had to make. I regret it all the time. I was in Hell's Kitchen with a drug problem. I was deathly afraid of going to London with this giant addiction." Throughout his journey, Michael had grappled with his addiction to prescription painkillers, even using them while he was on the show. Nevertheless, there was some good news in his life at this point. He took the $250,000 prize money and used it to open his own restaurant in Los Angeles called Tattoo. The restaurant would prove to be a success, doing so well that he opened a second restaurant called HK1 not long after. In addition to this, his wife Lola went into labor just 3 weeks after his restaurant's grand opening. At that point, it seemed like things were going well for Michael and his soon-to-be family, at least on the surface. He was basking in the spotlight as the winner of the first season of Hell's Kitchen and using that fame to build his culinary empire. Yet, tragedy would strike, as his daughter would die due to complications at birth. This is when things went in a downhill spiral for Michael. With the pain from the loss of his child, Michael found himself unable to resist the grip of addiction. In the aftermath of his daughter's sudden death, he was no longer able to run his restaurants. He left Tattoo 6 weeks later. Media at the time speculated on what had happened to the celebrity chef. Where did the winner go, they wondered. Things would go from bad to worse, and soon Michael's marriage would fall apart, ending up in divorce. Not long after that, he became homeless. Facing challenging times, his addiction grew. To pay for his addiction, he took on irregular kitchen jobs, all while living out of his truck. Things got so bad at one point that he was living beneath an underpass near Hollywood Boulevard. Eventually, his doctor in New Mexico, where he had relocated to, refused to prescribe him any more opiates as medication, seeing the state he was in. No longer able to get his prescriptions, he resorted to breaking into a local pharmacy during the night in order to steal the supply he needed. After the successful break-in, he took his newfound stash and relocated once again, this time to the Mojave Desert. In the desert, he would go on benders for days on end, hallucinating that ghosts were trapped inside of him. He attempted to take his own life, but was fortunately spotted. A passerby came across the former Hell's Kitchen star crawling by the side of the road and made the call to 911. Michael woke up in the hospital 48 hours later and decided it was time to get clean. This would set the stage for his path to recovery. In the hospital, Michael entered into rehab to treat his addiction. Things would eventually begin to turn around for Michael. While in rehab, he would meet his future wife, Charlene. After completing his rehabilitation, the next step for Michael was to answer for my crime and make it right, as he put it. Michael voluntarily surrendered himself to the police for the responsibility of the pharmacy robbery. He ended up serving a month in jail, where he was allowed to help out in the kitchen. Once out of jail and rehab, he knew that he had to get back to what his main passion in life was: cooking. With the support of Charlene, he started by taking some shifts at a local breakfast cafe. It would be the start of a process lasting a few years, where he would get back to the chef he once was. In addition to that, he runs a knife company called Skull and Cleavers and also teaches cooking. He has a public Instagram profile, which he continues to update. For years, Michael has expressed his desire to have his own food truck. He even started a GoFundMe to help raise money for it. Currently, Michael lives in San Diego. He is happily married to Charlene, and they have a son, Osmo. I really hope that Michael achieves his dream and gets his food truck one day. At just 25 years old, this chef from Port Jefferson, New York, with incredible leadership skills, won the second season of Hell's Kitchen. The second season of Hell's Kitchen showcased a diverse cast of 11 chefs, each hailing from unique backgrounds. Among them was Giacomo, the pizza chef and family restaurateur, Garrett, who learned to cook while in prison, Larry, the fishmonger, and Tom, a former stockbroker. The journey of the cast members took some intriguing turns after the season aired. The runner-up, Virginia Delbeck, found remarkable success as she went on to own and manage multiple restaurants. Sarah Horowitz, who worked as Justin Bieber's tour chef, faced legal trouble when she was arrested for assaulting her partner in 2013. Keith Green, with a steady chef's career, tragically lost his life in an accidental drowning in 2012. Two contestants from Season 2 have sadly lost their lives, as 10 months after that season, contestant Rachel Brown took her own life. Both Keith and Rachel are featured in our Hell's Kitchen Chefs Who Passed Away video. As the season unfolded, Heather consistently displayed strong leadership qualities. Her confidence, reliability, and friendly nature made her stand out for all the right reasons. In Ramsey's office, Heather and Virginia stood before a door. Ramsey praised them and handed each a key, saying one key would open a restaurant in Las Vegas. After a suspenseful moment, only Heather's door opened, making her the winner. She hugged her parents and Ramsey, and the season ended with fireworks at the Red Rock Resort and Spa. As a result, she earned the position of executive chef at the Terra Rosa restaurant at the Red Rock Resort Spa and Casino in Las Vegas. Well, at least that's what she might have thought she was getting, when in reality, 3 months later she was working at the Red Rock in a senior chef position. After a year at the restaurant, Heather moved to Long Island to become the head chef at the Monterey restaurant. Later, Heather also held the same position at Jellyfish Restaurant and Broadway Grill, until returning in 2014 to her native Port Jefferson to work at Schaefer's. Something rather curious about this chef is that she moved 17 times before returning to her hometown, passing through Seattle and Los Angeles. She got to know many places, but ultimately, she decided that there was no better home than family. Heather made several return appearances on the show, but not as a contestant. In Season 3, she was there to greet the challenge winner from Episode 8 and the guests at the Red Rock Resort Spa and Casino. During the final challenge, she took on the role of a guest judge. In Season 5, she returned alongside 3 other previous winners to celebrate the season's victor. And finally, in Season 6, she served as a sous chef for the Red Team, lending her expertise to the competition. Heather co-founded the nonprofit East End Playdates with a friend dedicated to helping mothers with postpartum depression get out of the house and reconnect with the world. Currently, Heather is a dedicated mother to her 3 children. Next in Season 3 is Ramen The Rock Harper. He may not be Dwayne Johnson, but this chef proved to be as tough as The Rock in Hell's Kitchen. Rock Harper came to the show with previous experience as an executive chef in Washington, D.C. That was crucial to winning a finale in which he had to run all the cooking stations. Rock Harper showcased a strong work ethic, leadership abilities, and a remarkable ability to excel under pressure. He consistently delivered high-quality dishes and demonstrated a deep passion for cooking. His dedication and talent were evident throughout the competition, which is what led him to claim the title of Hell's Kitchen Season 3 winner. Following his win, Rock accepted the head chef position at the Terra Verde restaurant in the Green Valley Ranch Casino, Nevada. After completing the 1-year contract, Rock returned to Washington, D.C. as executive chef at Ben's Next Door. Aside from teaching cooking classes at Stratford University, as a writer in 2010 to publish 44 Things Parents Should Know About Healthy Cooking for Kids. For the more adult audience, Rock launched the Chef Rock Experiment, a podcast about how the restaurant business works from the inside. After that, Rock opened Queen Mother's Fried Chicken based on his fried chicken dish he served up on Hell's Kitchen to everyone's liking. And if that wasn't enough, he also owns the Hill Prince Bar in the capital. This man is more than just a chef, he's a full-on serial entrepreneur. Season 4 was won by Christina Machamer. The chef from St. Louis, Missouri, who won one of the show's most turbulent finales, had the famous line of,
"Hey, Mom and Dad, guess you don't have to worry about me anymore, I'm gonna be okay."
The fourth season saw Christina shine with her impressive culinary skills and her composed, level-headed approach in the kitchen. Her ability to maintain her composure during high-stress service was commendable. Even though she was the least experienced finalist up to that point, Ramsay chose her for her potential. Christina's consistent performance and her determination to succeed culminated in her victory and the opportunity to work at Gordon Ramsay's prestigious restaurant. Since she was still in culinary school, Christina took a senior chef position at the London in West Hollywood, California. During her time there, the restaurant earned a Michelin star. After 10 months on the job, Christina left the restaurant to begin a career as a sommelier, studying at the Master Court of Sommeliers in London. That bet worked out quite well for Christina, as she created her own wine company, Napa Valley Experiences, although she didn't give up her career as a chef. Christina currently runs a catering business in the Napa Valley called the Clandestine Table. But don't worry about the name, it's a completely legit business. Before season 5, all of the Hell's Kitchen winners were over 25. Though this Edgewater, Florida chef arrived and broke that pattern at just 23 years old. Danny Veltri's passion for cooking and his willingness to learn and grow as a chef were evident throughout the competition, making him a deserving winner. He displayed a strong dedication to his craft and an innate culinary talent. Despite facing challenges and intense competition, he consistently delivered top-notch dishes. Not only was Danny part of one of the show's best final services, but he dedicated his win to his late mother, claiming she was watching from heaven. Following up on his win, Danny took the position of head chef at Fornaletto in the Borgata Hotel Casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey, with an annual salary of $250,000. He didn't make it an entire year, though, as he returned to his beloved Florida to work at Gnarly Surf Bar and Grill in New Smyrna Beach. Danny went through a turbulent time in 2012 when he was arrested for drunk driving, but fortunately it appears to be a one-off incident. After that event, he helped launch the Salt Life food restaurant chain and opened his own catering business, Back from Hell Catering. Aside from pursuing his culinary passion, Danny is a dedicated father of a young daughter. The future continues to look bright for Danny. In season 6, we have Dave Levey. How can we forget the one-armed bandit, the San Diego, California chef who won the Hell's Kitchen finale with an arm cast on? In that condition, he delivered one of the best performances of the show, which makes me wonder what would have happened if he had both of his arms to use. I guess we'll never know. Dave's ability to adapt and continue performing at a high level under challenging circumstances earned him the title of Hell's Kitchen Season 6 winner. After his coronation, Dave earned the position of head chef at Araxi Restaurant and Bar in Whistler, British Columbia, Canada, where he delighted tourists and athletes with his food for the 2010 Winter Olympics. However, he left the restaurant after the games were over, as he said he felt like he was treated simply as a line cook and nothing more. Dave returned to his native New Jersey to work as a chef at various places, most notably Il Giardino Sulmo. In 2014, Dave was involved in a drug bust due to suspicions that he was under the influence of narcotics, although he was released after it was proven to be a simple misunderstanding. Since then, Dave has worked as a pastry chef at Mara's Cafe and Bakery in Denville, until it closed in 2022. It's hard to know what Dave is up to since then, as he hasn't published anything in years. I hope he is doing well though. Season 7's winner, Holli Ugalde, first heard the words "Mama, you're the best chef ever" when she was crowned champion of the show's 7th season. Who needs the approval of international critics when your son thinks you are the best? After her victory, this San Bernardino, California chef was supposed to be the new head chef at Ramsay's restaurant, the Savoy Grill in London, UK. I say she was supposed to be, because in the end she could not travel to the UK due to a denial of her work permit. As an American citizen, she would be required to get authorization to work in the UK. However, it seemed that the Fox producers didn't even apply for the visa in the first place, which Holli found very disappointing, but at least she got the $250,000 reward. After that, she moved to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, to become the executive chef at B Oceans. She also traveled to Portugal to film a travel and cooking series that aired on Celeb Wine Review TV. Returning to the US, she started the SENS Wellness Lifestyle Program to help her clients with nutrition, sleep, and other daily matters. Holli didn't stop there, as she has quite an extensive portfolio, including organic farmer, design and project manager, and even president of Intelligent Lighting Systems Inc., a company in charge of outdoor lighting on the West Coast. Nona Sivley, the chef who missed her son's first birthday to participate on the 8th season of the show, started the grand finale with a defeat, but fought her way back. She faced off against Russell Cook in the final. As the tension mounted, both finalists faced separate doors. Nona's door swung open, marking her as the victorious chef. In stark contrast to the prior 7 runner-ups of the show, Russell took his defeat poorly, blaming his teammates for his loss. Russell would say this about his defeat: "I'm pissed. I'm not happy at all. I chose the team that I wanted, and I thought they would help me win, and in fact they helped me lose. So thanks a lot guys. You will never get a job in any city I work. I'm definitely gonna blackball you guys, because you guys effed me so royally tonight." Nona, on the other hand, was far more graceful. She said, "My door opened. It opened. This is nuts. I fought, and this is just amazing. I'm so thankful. This was a huge sacrifice, missing my son's first birthday, missing his first steps. It's absolutely worth it to make his life better." After her victory, the Atlanta native began working as head chef at LA Market in Los Angeles, California, where she stayed for 3 years until she moved to Las Vegas to help her mentor, Kori Sutton, open the restaurant Pork and Beans. Years ago, Nona divorced her husband and readopted her maiden name, Johnson. She is now married to her business partner, with whom she opened a grocery market that also does catering called The Local Peach. This became an integral part of her community during the pandemic. As for Russell, I hope he's gotten over his loss by now. In Season 9, we met Paul Niedermann. Hailing from a family of chefs, this Davie, Florida native came into the season as one of the strongest competitors. While he had a few scares in the finale, he ultimately took the top spot. Unfortunately, Paul had to go through the same thing Danny did, as his mother passed away months before the competition. As such, he would dedicate his victory to her, just as Danny did when he won in Season 5. Following Hell's Kitchen, Paul held the position of head chef at BLT Steak in New York City until he returned to his native Florida, where he spent time at Hudson at Waterway East and Salt 7 in Delray Beach. Paul is now an executive chef at the Jupiter Grill and lives in South Florida with his wife and family. One of Chef Ramsay's goals with Hell's Kitchen is to source talented chefs to work in one of his 75 restaurants around the globe. With Christina Wilson, he met an individual who goes beyond just a talented chef, to someone who has taken an active role in the management of Gordon Ramsay's culinary portfolio. It all started in 2012 when Chef Christina from Philadelphia won the 10th season of Hell's Kitchen with strong leadership in the kitchen and a lot of talent. That earned her the role of head chef at Gordon Ramsay Steak in the Paris, Las Vegas. When her contract expired there, Gordon didn't let her go, making her one of 3 executive chefs at his burger restaurant at Planet Hollywood, Las Vegas. In 2015, her talent earned her the title of culinary director at Gordon Ramsay Restaurants. Christina didn't stop there. In 2020, she became the new vice president of culinary for Gordon Ramsay North America. Christina currently has over 100,000 followers on Instagram, and for obvious reasons. She is often spotted hanging out with Gordon Ramsay still to this day. Christina not only crushed it as Season 10's winner, but has built up a hugely successful career as a result of it. Good on her. It'll be interesting to see where Christina ends up in the future. Next, we look at how Serenity made a chef. That's the best way to sum up the path that Janelle Witt, the chef from Houston, took to win the 11th season of Hell's Kitchen. She did it in front of Anthony Anderson, Kate Graham, Tony Hawk, and other world-renowned celebrities who were present at the time. She would say, "My Hell's Kitchen journey ends tonight, but my future lies at Caesar's Palace, Gordon Ramsay's Pub and Grill. I am so ready to move to Vegas, dig my heels in, and get to work." Unfortunately, her dream ended bittersweetly, as she could not serve as head chef at Gordon Ramsay's restaurant at Caesar's Palace because she failed a drug test just before she started. That was a tough blow for Janelle, who kept working as a private chef. In 2014, she got a chance to redeem herself in Texas as the executive chef of the Corner Table restaurant. She then moved on to Sammy's Steakhouse to Sonoma Wine Bar and Restaurant in Houston. I couldn't find any current information on what Janelle is doing, although she stays pretty active on Instagram, where she often uploads photos of her dishes and pictures of her family, her dog, and her day-to-day life. Overall, she seems to be doing quite well. Season 12 saw Scott Commings take the victory. Hailing from Woodstock, Illinois, Chef Scott was one of the standouts of Season 12, not only for being the second winner to kick out a member of his team in the final service, but he is the winner with the most surviving nominations, tallying a total of 7. Without a doubt, the ultimate Hell's Kitchen underdog. After Scott's victory, Ramsay made up for the past incident with Janelle by rewarding him with the head chef position at Ramsay's Pub and Grill at Caesar's Palace. After that, he had a brief stint at Freedom Beat Restaurant in Sin City until he co-founded BLT Foods Las Vegas and created his own company called Established Culinary Management, or ECM for short, in 2016. Currently, Scott works at the Daily Bread Bakery in Nevada, where he posts on his Instagram delicious dishes he makes, along with pictures of his children. As a fun fact, Scott participated in an episode of Matilda and the Ramsay Bunch, a culinary show hosted by Ramsay's daughter. In season 13, Tasha McCutchen was one of the few winners who was never nominated during her time on the show. Coming from Winter Haven, Florida, Tasha showed off one of the best performances of the finals, nailing a perfect score on the challenge and controlling her cooking with temperates in the final service. Thanks to that, she walked away with a $250,000 salary as head chef of Gordon Ramsay Pub and Grill in Atlantic City, New Jersey. When her contract ended, she started a career as a private chef in 2016, calling her service Entertaining with Chef Tasha Mac. Since then, Tasha has been hosting food events and cooking demonstrations. Such was the case in August 2021, when she taught some culinary secrets to Lake City students, an experience youngsters remember fondly. To this day, Tasha continues her work as a private chef and enjoys a peaceful life with her girlfriend. Hailing from Roanoke, Virginia, Megan Gill had a background prior to Hell's Kitchen studying French culinary techniques at l'Académie de Cuisine and working at one of Washington, D.C.'s top restaurants. As such, she came into Hell's Kitchen a strong contender. She ended up winning the final, in which she cooked in the backyard of Ramsay's house. In addition, Megan is the first participant and winner to score a perfect 5 in the Signature Dish Challenge, although she also holds the record for being the winner with the most evictions from the kitchen with 5 as well. She's like the yin and the yang of the kitchen, I suppose. After her win, Megan became the head chef at Gordon Ramsay Pub and Grill in New Jersey. Upon completing 2 years of service, Megan worked for a year as executive chef at MGM Springfield until 2019, when she became executive chef at Dormy Network, a job she still holds. Other than that, Megan is happily married and lives in Greater Hartford, Connecticut. In season 15, Ariel Malone may be remembered by her famous quote of, $250,000, like I've never had more than $2,000 in my bank account at one time. For many aspiring chefs, this is an all-too-real experience in their culinary journey. Ariel came to the show from Hackensack, New Jersey to win a finale in which she received tips from the previous winner, Paul Niedermann. The finale was staged aboard the USS Iowa, which made for an amazing backdrop. After that, she received the head chef position at BLT Steak at Bally's Las Vegas, Nevada, although she left the restaurant in early 2017 because she received a better offer. I couldn't find any information regarding that supposed offer, but by 2021, she began her career as a private chef. In addition, Ariel has explored other hobbies as a coach and doula. For those who don't know what that last job means, it refers to women who accompany pregnant mothers during childbirth. Speaking of which, Ariel lives in Los Angeles, and her Instagram is full of photos with her 3 daughters. As a fun fact, Ariel participated on the TV game show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire and walked away with $10,000. It never hurts to have a little extra cash. Next up is the winner of season 16, Kimberly-Ann Ryan, who despite not being one of the most dominant chefs in the kitchen, was able to find her own voice throughout the show with a little help from Chef Ramsay. Although after the show is when the real hell began for Kim in her personal life. At first, after becoming the 16th winner of Hell's Kitchen, she did what prior winners had done. She went on to work at one of Chef Ramsay's restaurants, the Yardbird Southern Table and Bar in Las Vegas, Nevada. Following that, she decided to return to her native Traverse City, Michigan to run a restaurant called The Cook's House. What wasn't known at first was that Kimberly went through a very dark time when she attempted to take her own life. In a November 2020 Instagram post, Ryan opened up about her challenging journey, revealing that in 2017, the same year as her Hell's Kitchen finale, she had experienced a failed suicide attempt and subsequently spent time in a Las Vegas psychiatric ward. In the post, she also celebrated a significant milestone, sharing that she had achieved 9 months of sobriety. She continues to post about overcoming her mental health struggles as a way of helping others who find themselves in a similar situation. Despite these formidable health challenges, she continues to maintain a positive attitude in the face of it all. She even keeps track of the days she has spent sober as a reminder of everything she has been through. Today, Kimberly has been sober since February of 2021 and is living a happy and healthy life with her children. Ladies and gentlemen, meet Michelle Tribble, the winner of the All-Stars edition of Hell's Kitchen, in which all the contestants were eliminated chefs from previous seasons. After placing 3rd in season 14, this chef from Dallas, Texas was crowned champion of season 17 a few years later and took the head chef position at Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen restaurant at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas. Her stint there ended due to the pandemic, so Michelle stepped away from the kitchen to pursue a Master's of Science in Nutrition at Texas Women's University. With that degree in her portfolio, Michelle was contacted in April of 2021 by Gordon Ramsay North America to become Culinary Development Executive Chef, a position she holds to this day. Season 18 was won by Ariel Contreras-Fox. This show's season repeated a similar formula to the previous one, but with a little twist. Veterans from past seasons versus rookies. Ultimately, Ariel, who placed third in the 6th edition, managed to walk away with the $250,000. Why did I mention just the money? Well, Ariel had earned the position of executive chef at the Hell's Kitchen restaurant at Caesar's Palace. However, she chose to return home to New York and work as concept executive chef at Dos Caminos, a Mexican restaurant. Since Michael Wray, no one has turned down that honor. But time proved Ariel right, as she is now vice president of culinary at Del Frisco's Double Eagle, Del Frisco's Grill, and Dos Caminos. In addition to getting married and giving birth to a daughter, Ariel published a children's cookbook called Freckle-Faced Foodie: Journey of a Young Chef in 2020. She also made her mark on television as a guest judge on the TV show Beat Bobby Flay. After a stormy 2020 with no Hell's Kitchen edition due to the pandemic, the show returned in 2021, in which Kori Sutton, a Los Angeles chef, was crowned champion. Just like the previous winner, Kori turned down the head chef's position at Gordon Ramsay's Hell's Kitchen restaurant in Lake Tahoe for family reasons. Since then, Kori has remained in the culinary business as a private chef, managing a brand of sauces called Mama Kori. Additionally, Kori appeared in several shows such as Top Chef Mexico and Cutthroat Kitchen, and recently got married. After 7 editions won by women, this chef from the small town of Union, Missouri broke the streak at only 23 years old. And what better stage in Hell's Kitchen to propose to her girlfriend? Trenton, you're my idol. After winning the 20th season, Trenton Garvey took the head chef position at Gordon Ramsay Steak in Paris, Las Vegas. In early 2022, Trenton and his bride, Macy, celebrated their wedding, and later that year, he became chef de cuisine at the Bedford by Martha Stewart in Vegas. Today, Trenton works as executive chef at Guy Fieri's Flavortown Sports Kitchen at Horseshoe, Las Vegas, and lives happily with his wife. We end with the show's most recent winner, Alex Belew. Hailing from Tennessee, he is the oldest winner due to the season's format, Battle of Ages, which paired 20-something chefs against 40-something chefs. Thanks to his previous experience as a catering chef and as the owner of a restaurant called Dallas and Jane, Alex earned the head chef position at the Gordon Ramsay Hell's Kitchen restaurant at Caesar's Atlantic City. However, he didn't keep that reward. Instead, Alex focused on his work as owner of Alex Belew Hospitality and as host of the podcast Cooking, Cocktails, and Community. Alex chose the path of solo chef, but only for the work part, as his family accompanies him every step of the way, as well as his musical colleagues. In July 2023, he released a single called Fallout, which doesn't sound bad. Alex shines in the kitchen as well as on stage, and even in the gym. In conclusion, the life of a chef, even after winning prestigious events like Hell's Kitchen, is undeniably stressful. While the allure of gourmet glory is strong, it's vital to acknowledge that the life of a chef demands unwavering dedication, resilience, and a profound commitment to their craft amidst ongoing challenges.